Hello, welcome. This is a Friday market review on crypto, sponsored by BingX, excellent crypto exchange that I use. The things I love about them are the user interface is really, really nice. They also have lots of different things like you can trade literally the derivative or the future contract of some of the top NFTs. Um, but my favorite thing about it is that you can trade directly in um, TradingView. So you connect your account, have a great rating, and you can take all your trades directly on TradingView, and I think that's an excellent feature. Now, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Haven't done one of these streams for a couple of weeks. Lots has been going on, so I'm back at it now and looking forward to getting started again. Now, what has been happening? So we had this is the weekly chart, okay? So we had a drop previous week. Okay, we took out the previous weekly lows with this candle. Closed very bullish. Looked like the market was going to expand. It didn't. It's pushed in and taken out these highs. Okay, and this week current weekly trading, it's taken out all these highs in here and dropped. So what we're going to need is we're going to need some SR and we're going to need some range levels. Now, if we look at where this market dropped in, this candle initially broke all the structures. This was the first candle that gave us a weekly high. So it was a key swing high on the weekly candle. Now if I mark that up, maybe this color here, you can see once the candle closed back inside the range, resistance. Okay, so this is a really important SR level. You could stretch that across, and you can see how important it was historically. Resistance, close above support. But we're going to use it from right to left, focusing on price recency. So there's your range high. Range low is here. Nice and easy. Same candle. We're using the width of that weekly range. Okay, the high and the low. Support, support. No closes outside of these boundaries. So we've isolated price in these levels. Excellent. That gives us something to work with. Um, and now you can see what has been important here, or what will be important rather, is the break outside of it. So we've had a month trading within it. Once we closed inside here, we've traded within it for a month. Now we need a close outside to the upside, or a close to the downside, which will signify a breakout. Okay, and after such a long period of consolidation, a month, you'll you'll not want to be fading that market. So if it breaks to the upside, excellent. It breaks to the downside, not so great. But we'll deal with that when if it happens. Otherwise, we could just go sideways for infinity. Now, what we have is a weekly open. So we're going to mark that up there. There's the weekly open. There we go. Daily. So daily. Okay, let me just bring these levels in a little bit tighter to make sure my OCD doesn't go all over the place. Now we have a daily SR level in there as well. We're going to bring that in here. Which, well, actually, do you know what? We don't need to, because we have a key level already. Um, that would be the level that I would have used. But you know what? We have one, so that's excellent. We'll focus on this area of price. Now, this makes it a little bit clearer. You can see what happened, right? Dropped in, failure pattern, shorts got trapped. Pushed up to the upside, longs got trapped. Okay, where did this find resistance? Back to the weekly. The FTA, or the last low pre-break, is here. Okay, filled that gap up, and it's found resistance there. Okay, so market pushed down, traded back into it, dropped. A little cleaner on the daily, so you can see that was very clear resistance. That's the lower high, or the higher low before the higher high, and then there's the breakdown, the breaking structure. Now, we'll mark out these failure patterns here. Okay, there's one, and there's the lower boundary one. Now, I'm looking at this market, and although it looks bearish, right? It doesn't look great. But if this is the low, that should hold. That doesn't matter how fast the pullback is. If this is the low, if this is in, because you have to remember what it did do. Okay, in the context of this actual move to the low is important. Hopefully, well, it doesn't really matter, but I do hope that it holds, because then I'd like to trade it back to the upside and then higher. Obviously, we don't want Bitcoins to always go lower. Cheap Bitcoin's great, but could be a bit of a problem if it drops below this low. Now, all these lows on the weekly, I think that was the only remaining one is the actual current low of the year. Now, we took out all these lows with this candle, and it moved up. It reacted quite strongly enough for us to think that potentially there was a bottom in. And the way that it moved and broke the high that created the low, it looked good, and it doesn't look so bad at the minute where it's sitting. It's if it breaks this level, then we have a problem. So H4, SR, no, actually, you know what? H2. Here, there is your resistance level. Why? Okay. Why is this the level? This is the level because I'm going to mark that pink there. You can see there resistance, was trapped within. Okay, and then breakdown, failure, break above. It's back below this level. I actually wanted it to pull back to this level. One of my charts on Twitter, I think, oh, is it on here? Bit disappointing. I'm still looking for a position in there, but where is the? How do I get it up? Oh yeah, there. I was looking for the pullback into this level, exactly this level, in fact. I wanted that pullback into, I wanted to hit that level, pull back into here and buy it. But the problem is, it's trading below it now. Now, that's not the end of the world, but it needs to start showing some strength soon. So here's the things that I like on Bitcoin. Here's the things that I like of where it is currently. It's been a big move to the downside, hasn't it? So I think if we're looking, if we're looking at longs, now what things do we have in confluence? Well, we have that big key SR range low. Okay, that is a weekly level. We have our high, we have our low. We're trapped within the range that it was in previously. That's a positive. We're sitting on top of big support. Okay, we have the low in here. That's our hard stop. Our invalidation is there on all longs. If that gets broken, I mean, I would go to as far as even saying if it even comes below this level, I don't think it's good. You'd really need it to trap everybody once more, but that would come a little bit close for my liking. I think it would take it out. Positive on top of the level. Next positive, triple low. Okay, so it's taken out the stops. 1, 2, it's 3 lows. Okay, now what we want to see is a break of the high. Okay, so if we're going to break that high, then I would consider that potentially the lows in. The buyers need to step in soon. Okay, they need to show some strength of something. Back above this level is a much better or a much more confident position to be able to take to the upside. So if it breaks back above this level, we now have a second failure pattern below a level, a key level, and then we can look to enter the market trading at first target into weekly open. Break above this level, hold, trade above it, accepted. Then you start asking the question, why is it all the way back up here? Then we look for the trade into there, and then we start looking at these highs again. Now, that could be a million miles off. So that's the long idea, okay? That's the long idea. If we start breaking levels to the upside, now it could well be that the unwind of the merge and the narrative and the positions and the indecision of yesterday is just pulled the market back to deleverage some of the market before it moves up. Now, that's potentially what could be happening. So we wait for strength, wait for buyers. In the meantime, if we were to get short this market, now if you look at what happened yesterday, created a daily high, took it out, boom, took it out, dropped into liquidity of the previous daily low. Okay, so it's hit that. Now, if this pushes back up to, where would I want this to go? Yeah, okay, so if we're going to take a short on this market, I think, well, essentially we need that high to hold, okay? We don't want that daily high to get taken out. That would be bullish. It would break the high that created the low, and that would give us bullish market structure. You don't want to then start shorting that with your stop up there, because that's how we get the breakout, okay? So what we would need is for the high of yesterday to hold, but for the market to trade back into a resistance, which comes in the form of probably this, okay? That was SR in there. It was nice SR. High low. Let's use that one. And then we'll use the same for that one and that one. We'll clean this chart up a little bit. There. Bang. Liquidity. Liquidity. Now, there. Okay. So I think if that's a current resistance level and that's the resistance level, I want to see this. Break up. Okay. Hit resistance. Take out all these stops from these two swing highs here. Okay, from the New York session, the overnight session, and then break down. And if it breaks down from here, stop, entry somewhere in here, sell that lower, target 1 here. If it breaks this low, okay, wait for the pullback, be able to drag your stop down, entry, and then we start targeting these daily lows and these daily lows. That's all we're focusing on, is the daily lows, okay? But again, my preference is to take this up. So I just need to see some strength, but that is what will happen if it pushes up, breaks down. All you're looking for is a move like this, okay? Just a push up, break down, entry, stop, sell. A push up, take stops out, a breakdown, entry, breaking structure, sell. Obviously that one's a bit slower, but same concept, okay? Push up, take some stops out, break down, entry, stop loss, sell off, okay? You're looking for the same thing. That's if it sets up for the shorts. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum. What do we have? Now, the thing that is a bit worrying about Ethereum is it looks like it's carved out a low high. It looks like that is a low high there now. If we drop this to the daily, we have a key swing high here, which is acting as, which was resistance, breakout. So there's the failure pattern above the level, found resistance back on it, okay, and it's now taking out last week's low. Very important. It's taken out last week's low. We've just taken out previous daily low and closed back inside the previous week's range, and we're going to swing that straight into that level again, okay? Now, ideally, that's what we want to see. I think that's the better trade to take. I think short standing should make not much sense to me at the moment. Now, let's take a look at some levels. Okay, so what do we have? So let's get rid of that there. Actually, let's bring that back in and then go to daily. So here was the cluster where price got sent higher, pulled back to it, bounced, resistance. Okay. Now, I'm going to remove that a moment, but that is a support level. But yeah, quite simply with this, I think, again, it's very similar. You know, this a little bit messy for Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. It's much cleaner in these ranges. But if last week's low, which is here, was enough, okay, if that was what it wanted, and when it dropped in and rejected off this level, then here will be a failure pattern, okay? It will break back inside, and even possibly one more run of these lows, then a back inside, okay? If it gets back inside, then we go long. No doubts about it. Trade to the range high, break out of the range high, trade it to the next level, okay? So that would be the plan for Ethereum. I don't see value in shorting this down here. It may drop into these lows. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I think it might just be enough. That was a big low it took out, and usually you get a decent reaction from these lows. So we'll see today, and I think BTC could carry them both up if they move together. If it takes the the third one out, and then inside, that's a banker, okay, straight back in. But again, once we're in this range for all of September so far, I mean, and a little bit further, right? We're in all the way over here. We had a failure pattern there, big one there. Most of the price action has been within these levels, okay, within these boundaries. Back inside, let's get ourselves another one, trade into the range high. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Goodbye.